Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a character guide on Enna Kros. So she's the newest character that just came to Global. I honestly knew nothing about her coming into the video. Tried her out a little bit, studied her kit, and she actually does do some pretty cool things. I think she is kind of an interesting character. I definitely don't think she's like a must-pull character, especially for like a newer player. But she can be quite powerful. The thing with Enna Kros is she is a damage dealer. But she's kind of a selfish damage dealer. She's kind of a unit that you want to build around and like really support her to make her look good. She's not really going to bring out the best in your teammates, other than providing maybe a little weakness damage or something like that, right? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at her. So in this video, we're going to look at her spheres, her artifacts, and I'll kind of explain her kit, show off a little bit in a showcase, right? So for her artifacts, kind of a pretty standard build. You either want to do like attack one, so basically some combination. I'm going attack 108 and Mysterious Guide up, which is her C50 passive. Some combination of attack 108, Mysterious Guide up, and then Max Brave 330. So maybe attack, Max Brave, you know, something like that. Whatever combo you like, but I would recommend going with that one right there. Attack 108, Mysterious Guide up. And then for spheres, she's definitely indicated as a damage dealer because she's got 3 A sphere slots, right? So she wants the typical A sphere stuff that damage dealers want, which is brave damage and attack. Once again, I like leaning on if a character can do something or has a specialty that other characters can't do. I try to lean those A spheres just because there's so many A spheres, and I like to save my generic ones for characters that can't use them. But it all depends on what you want. But basically, look through your A spheres. Anything that gives brave damage or attack, I think is fine. I think Rydia's might be one of the best ones you could put on it. Just because it's a weakness damage sphere that does brave damage and attack. It literally has everything you want on it. Now, Enna Kros doesn't need to have a weakness sphere, like, right? It could be anything. Like, it could just be a critical sphere, something like that. It's fine. But once again, the weakness sphere is not every character can hit weakness. And since Enna Kros has it built in her kit, I like having weakness there as well. So, to me, I think Rydia's is probably the best one. Like, if you're an Enna Kros fanatic and you want to make her the best, like, refine up some Rydia spheres or, like, make real ones if you want to. But because it's got brave damage and attack, and weakness is something that she can hit, I feel like that's a good one. I did decide to give her her own. It does a 10%, a big fat 10% in Int Brave up for 3 turns. I like that. And then Zonde's was another weakness one I just put on. So, brave damage and max brave. So I did it because I had a little bit of brave damage on there. I wouldn't say that this set of 3 is like guaranteed the best. Like I said, there are some generic, like just critical hit spheres and things like that that can work really well on her. So whatever you have that's got brave damage and attack, I would just toss it on. But Rydia's, I would think, is probably one of the best ones you can put on. So that's it for spheres and artifacts. Let's jump into a showcase. And I'm going to try something a little different here. I'm jumping in to her Lufenia a little blind here. I'm actually doing my first run in this showcase. So if the showcase goes well, we might just call this the Lufenia run as well, and I might not do a separate Lufenia video. So I'm going to take Enna Kros in the Ramza Garnet sandwich. I mean, how else are you going to show off a unit, right? You got to put him in the best situation. And like I said, with Enna Kros, you really want to highlight her and show her off. Actually, I'll keep Diabolos on as the summon. Why not? We'll just hop in. So a couple of unique things about Enna Kros here. We'll just bring sure that. So she has a unique combination of holy and dark damage. As far as I'm aware, I don't know if DFFOO has another character that is both holy and dark in their kit. Maybe, I think Vaughn has holy, but I don't think Vaughn has dark. Holy, like, dark is a pretty rare element. Like, dark isn't, like, very often. I know Zonde is, like, earth and dark, so this might be the first holy dark character, right? In this Lufenia, I know I did just read really quick that the side soldiers basically aren't killable, so we just got to target the book here. So we're going to go crazy. Once again, I'm jumping in kind of blind here, so I could look pretty silly and just get smacked up here. If that's the case, we'll just jump into another fight to show her off. But we'll see how this goes. This fight is meant for her. The orb is +5, I believe, on holy and darkness weakness damage. That does like 500k or more. So they really want you to show you that Enna Kros, her benefit is having the dark and holy, you know, enchant and peril. And then also she does a lot of damage, right? Which we'll talk about that. So let's just do a little setup here. Let's get some debuffs on. We're going to use Garnet's AA, and then we're going to go ahead and use the burst attack. So let's do that. Let's get the AA on. Okay. And then we're going to burst attack with Garnet here. People are always asking me, like, when's Garnet coming back? So my understanding, looking at the JP timeline, it's looking actually like June. Now, here's the thing, though. Since we got her for anniversary, they could swap her out of that slot. I have no idea. And if she does come back, I don't believe it would be with a burst. It would just be LD. So you would still have to get her burst with, like, burst tokens. But I know that LD is the harder thing to get right now. So if you're saving up burst tokens, you know, for, like, June, if you've got 50 that you can spare in June and Garnet does come back, you could pull for LD. And Garnet's still going to be a beast then. Like, I'm already thinking ahead to my next BT guide video, and it's like Garnet's still going to be #1 if you can get a hold of the LD, right? Okay, so we've got Enna Kros here. So, like I said, she does a couple of things that are very interesting in her kit. So, a couple of things we have to look at. She has a very important buff, a very important debuff, and an important overhead that we need to look at, okay? So, the enemies, I believe, are going to start with the... Oh, no, they don't start with the debuff on. So, we're going to put that on. Let me double check here. Hold on, let me check here. Oh, no, they've got it. Okay, so the boss has it. So it's this probably divine punishment. So this is a holy and dark in peril, which is really, really important to have on. And then the important buff is the close enough creator. Now, this thing is pretty cool. So it is not a party enchant, but it is a self enchant for dark and holy. So it's going to make all of her damage do dark and holy. And then she's going to be hitting weakness damage because of the debuff, right? The thing that this does that's really, it does a couple of, actually 2 really unique things. One is the last 3 digits of the brave damage dealt are rounded up to the nearest whole number, which is really interesting. And then she has a low chance, which is a 20% chance at the end of the turn to completely fill her EX gauge, which is really good because she has a slow charging EX. So she's got a 20% chance just to, like, instantly charge it. And that's really important because her overhead only comes from her LD and her EX, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start with the LD. One thing I'm going to point out here too is that her 35, her EX, and her LD, none of them consume her Brave. So see right now how she's at Cat Brave? It's literally not going to use her Brave. So her kind of sort of holy, the 15, that's the only one that's going to consume Brave. So we'll watch that here and we'll use the AA, just give some generic stat boost. Sure. And then, yeah, we'll let the Garnet go off. The nice thing is for this fight, we're not really going to have to worry about the orb here. Because we've got the character they want for it, right? So let's go ahead and let's pop the LD. Now watch her Brave, and she's going to summon Omega God, okay? And notice Omega God, it's 330-something max Brave that just came out there, right? And we got that overhead buff of Omega God now, and it's at 1. So here's the way this overhead works. The overhead gets 2 stacks if she uses the EX or the LD, okay? Now, the turn you use it, it subtracts from the stacks because every time she takes a turn, it loses 1. So you see, I'm already at 1 stack of the overhead. If you have the Omega God overhead up, any attack that uses Omega God, that Omega God comes out with full max Brave. So you notice we're at like 300k Brave. And because it doesn't consume Enna Kros's Brave, you see her Brave is still capped out right now, okay? If that buff falls off, you can still attack with Omega God, you just won't start at max Brave, which is like the 300k that he starts with. So your damage might dip a little bit. So if you want to refresh that, you need to use either the EX or the LD to get 2 stacks of that, okay? All right, so that's that in a nutshell. Let's go ahead, and we definitely want to do some delay here. So let's go ahead. Actually, let's go ahead and pop this first. Put a little debuff on. Okay. And then we're going to go toss a little delay here. We'll do an attack up AA, sure, why not? Let Ramza kind of get built up, do his thing here. Sure, let's do this. That'll push him back a little bit, okay? The other unique thing about her EX, and, you know, because the reason why it's slow charging is because it also has a turn deletion in it, which is really cool. It's a all enemies turn delete. Turn delete is a very rare mechanic in the game. I think it's like, what, Zidane, Ultimisia, and Miditelian, I think, are the only turn deleters, and now Enna Kros joins that group. Very, very cool that she has that. So I do like that bit of utility right there. Garnet, what are we going to do with you, Garnet? Let's just, sure, we'll just pop one of these. That's fine. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of scared to let these enemies get turns because I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Because, like, I'm pretty sure Zac might be synergy for this, so they might want you to, like, tank stuff. And I'm not really prepped to do that. So we're just going to see what happens. Like, the enemies are going to attack. Now, Ramza, I want to do Shout to get my stack of Shout. And then I'll use his Ultima the next time he pops up. Okay. All right, let's see what the enemy's got here. Hopefully there's like little brave attacks. Okay, yeah, weak. Yep, and then we'll do that. And then I'm guessing the side enemy won't do anything too crazy this early. Hopefully. Oh, he's going to shield. Oh, and that's not that strong of a shield. All right, so now we've got that. We've got everything set up. So now we are going to burst attack with Ramza. And now we've pretty much got all of our auras and everything set up. So Enna Kros should be looking pretty darn good here. All right, so if what I've said seems kind of complex, she's actually quite simple to play at this point. Basically, you are just trying to maintain buffs and maintain that debuff, right? So let me just get Garnet's turn through here. We'll just do a Aquamarine. Yeah, we'll just pop that off. Okay. So basically what's going to happen is this Close Enough Holy, this is the only attack that does not summon the Omega God out, okay? So the only reason you want to use Close Enough Holy, this puts the debuff on the enemy and refreshes her buff. So once again, the buff you're looking at is Close Enough Creator. Right now I'm at 6, so I'm good. And the enemy's debuff, if they'll let me highlight it, is probably Divine Punishment. That's still at 3, so I don't really need to use that right now, okay? When you're in, and if the EX is up, you usually want to use that also, because once again, you're going to get Omega God stacks and all that. So let's use Bold Maneuver. So this is the 35, and this is just a really strong attack. So this is kind of the like your in-between. You want to use Bold Maneuver, and this is going to summon Omega God. Now watch, he comes out almost 400k Brave, comes out maxed because I had stacks, right? Now you notice the overhead is gone. Not the end of the world. It just means if we use Bold Maneuver, basically not having stacks only affects Bold Maneuver. Because if that's the only other attack that summons Omega God where you're not refreshing the overhead. So if you use that, you're going to notice that he'll come out at whatever Enna Kros's Brave is, not at that max 300k. So it's not a huge deal, but we'll take a look at it here. So the next time Enna Kros comes up, we will do the 35 again, and we'll see the Brave difference from Omega God, just so that you guys can kind of see that. Sure, let's Enervate. Let's Enervate, let's Energize, let's do all that stuff. Okay, wow, 1.2 from the EX on Ramza. This team's pretty good, you guys. And when I say this team, I mean Garnet, Ramza, and any other character. This team's crazy. Okay, so let's use Bold Maneuver again. And notice Enna Kros's Brave is not... Basically, the way you can think about it is this. When she's attacking with Omega God, it's actually Omega God attacking and not her. That's why her Brave isn't getting consumed and why he kind of has his own stats. Watch her HP, by the way, too. When Omega God comes out, look at that, 99,999. And you see that the Brave there didn't start capped out. So still did very strong damage, right? But it's just if you want to maximize the damage, you want to have the Omega God stacks up, right? So hopefully this doesn't hurt. What is this going to do? Okay, that's fine. All right, so let's go ahead. Sure, I haven't used this in a hot minute with Garnet. Let's use Holy Prayer. Normally I don't use it because I'm doing like either a showcase or something where I don't want to tick the orb, but like this fight's going to be just fine. And sure, we'll just Aquamarine. That sounds good. Okay, and then now we've got Ramza up again. Okay, and with Ramza, I mean, we can just show off. And actually, I'm going to do a summon here. That way we don't have to worry about the enemy messing with us. Yep. And I brought Diablos just because we had dark damage on there. Now watch Ramza's just HP triple plus. I know this isn't a showcase, but look at the damage from this HP triple plus. We just did about a mil from that. So he's basically like Machina right now. Just on his HP attacks. And he's like a godly support. It's kind of crazy how good Ramza is. I'm not going to lie. Ramza's banner is up right now, by the way, guys. So those of you that missed out on Garnet, like I highly recommend you pick up Ramza. Ramza's going to be like your replacement for Garnet, and he's pretty darn good. Now, he looks even better here because Garnet is alongside of him because we're stacking HP damage ups, which is kind of crazy. All right, so now Enna Kros is EX, so we're going to use the EX. Now, watch the enemy's turn. This is going to delete the turn. It's going to give us 2 stacks of our Omega God, so this is going to, he's going to come out at Cap Brave here. So there he is, 400k Brave, comes out capped. We're going to delete the turn. Yep, and we did 1.2 mil. So that's the EX. Now keep in mind, as long as we're upkeeping her buff, we're going to have a 20% chance to refresh her gauge. And look at that, her EX is up right now. So we can do it again back-to-back turns. Now I gotta watch her buffs here just to make sure. Yeah, we're still at 3 stacks. We're good. The enemy's debuff might be falling off soon. Yeah, it's only got 1 turn. So if the enemy gets 1 more turn, it's going to fall off, but that's fine. What do we want to do with Ramza? Yeah, let's just HP triple plus because it's really strong. There we go, 800k. Why not? Galvanize isn't even a button I want to press. I might press it next turn. Maybe I should. Let's see, Aquamarine. Yeah, Ramza is so busted. And I know it's probably like partially Garnet making him look good too, but man. Yeah, let's Galvanize for fun. Refresh some buffs. Okay, and then Garnet. No, I don't need a Holy Prayer again. Sure, let's just Aquamarine. Oh, and guess what? We haven't even used the burst phase yet. So probably what I'll do, an Immaculate Judgment. There we go. It's been a hot minute since I've had that because I'm normally finishing the fight before Immaculate Judgment can go off. Like, that's how crazy Garnet is in these teams. And look at the boss at 27%. We haven't even done a burst phase. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Enna Kros here. Sure, let's Enervate, Energize, all that stuff. Basically, we got to show off Enna Kros's 15. And that's the attack you want to use the least, probably. But we need to, like, well, no, I got to take advantage of this free EX. So let's do the free EX, because look at this. Delete them all out. All the enemies deleted. Watch this. Coming out, Cat Brave. So this is where she gets nasty. Is when that 20% is proccing and you're EXing every turn. Because then you're like deleting turns. You're deleting turns. You're keeping your overhead active, right? Because now our overhead's up to 2 stacks because we were able to back-to-back those. Kind of crazy. So a really cool, if you like this character, I think actually Lude would be a pretty good partner for her. Just because he's going to like be able to guaranteed upkeep that EX pretty often, right? Sure, I haven't done one of these. I mean, basically at this point, guys, I just have to hop into a burst at any moment and I'm going to win. But I need to show you Enna Kros's 15 and I haven't even showed it yet. So we're going to get her 15 and show you that, yes, we can refresh the buffs. And then I don't even think I'm going to get a chance to hop into a burst phase. I got to be careful. Am I going to kill him before she gets a turn? Garnet's got another turn. I'm going to Brave Attack. I know this is crazy. I'm going to Brave Attack. I think I'm okay doing an HP plus here. I don't think that's going to do 7% health. No. Okay, and then Enna Kros, maybe, I don't know if she'll finish, but here's the 15. So she does have a 15. And so that is what's going to put the Enchant and Peril down. And then basically refresh her buffs and we're good. And then for good measure, let's just finish off with the burst. So anyways, guys, there you go. There's the Enna Kros showcase. And then we're going to call this my Lufenia run as well. And we'll just make it a 2-for-1. I don't know if I'm going to sit here and do the whole burst phase on video, but I think you guys got the point. I beat the Lufenia. There's no way I can lose at this point. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of Enna Kros. I think she's a very interesting character. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.